Coming up on Thunder Insider, Oklahoma City opened up round 2 with a roar.
Top of the key to Durant, slicing left away from world peace, down the lane, dunks!
We take a look at how the Thunder and Lakers have matched up so far, and what we can expect as Scott Brooks' club heads to LA. Plus, the Thunder's offense has certainly been on a roll, but it's the stifling defense that has the Lakers shaking their heads. We've got all that, and Steely has some tips on how to get your hands on some playoff tickets.
I'm so excited, I don't know what to do. I'm in a Thunder game!
Hello and welcome everyone to Thunder Insider, presented by Integris Health. I'm Kelly Crull, your host, alongside the radio voice of Thunder basketball, Matt Pinto, and 15-year NBA veteran and Thunder analyst, Grant Long, here in our Oklahoman studio. And guys, after 9 days of some rest and practice, there was a question about rust. I don't think so. Not for Oklahoma City. The Thunder opened their second round series against the Lakers with quite a statement, gentlemen.
Big time reason why I love NBA playoff basketball. The emotional roller coaster that you go through in a 48-minute game was on display in game 2, round 2. But I love the fact the Thunder showed a lot of moxie. They didn't give up. They played a 48-minute game and pulled out the win in game 2.
When you look at what they've done in the first 2 rounds and the growth and the maturation of this team, it's pretty remarkable. Against Dallas in round 1, against the Lakers in the second game of the Western semifinal series, they've outscored the opposition in games decided by 2 possessions or less, 29-8 in the final 2 minutes of those 4 games.
Wow. Well, Oklahoma City certainly took care of business once again at home. They now lead the Lakers 2-0 in their second round series. And as you can imagine, anytime these two teams meet, there are plenty of highlights. Here are some of the best as we take a look back at games 1 and 2 in the Chesapeake Arena.
2-seed Oklahoma City, 3-seed Los Angeles. It's about set to get going. The Western Conference semifinals. It is loud in Loud City tonight. Top of the key to Durant, slicing left away from world peace, down the lane, dunks! Throwing down with the left hand, the southpaw spike over Bynum. Oh, Kevin, don't be so mean. 4-3 Thunder. Harden gets a high pick from Collison, slashes left, down the lane, foul going up, lays it up and in! Count the bucket! Blake blistered on the surge by Harden. It's 24-19 Thunder. Corner left Cook, fed by Muhammad, fires and missed, no, gets a 20-footer! Around, out, and back in! Fisher out front, veering left, behind a Collison pick. Slips it down the lane to Nick, right to the rim, 2-hand sledgehammer slam, sailing to the goal, and one. Jordan Hill hacks him in the act. Gasol, chested up by Collison, throws cross court to Bryant, stolen by Harden. He's in the open floor, look out below, the right hand windmill dunk. Right now the Thunder having their way with the Laker defense, or lack of. Russell Westbrook doing it all. Thunder by 15, closing the half strong. Crowd on its feet at Chesapeake. Durant lobs back door. Westbrook grabs it and throws down with 2 hands, climbing the stairway to hoop heaven and thumping down the 2-hand rim rocker. Works behind it, Ibaka splits a double. Down the lane, dances. Kicks out front, Cephalosha, corner left Durant. Tees up a 3. It's on the way. Cha-ching, Thunder money ball. Great ball movement. Boy, Steve Blake is at Russell Westbrook's mercy right now. At the peak, it's been a peak Thunder performance in game 1 of the Western semifinals. Any questions? The Thunder roll. They ravaged the Lakers in game 1, 119-90. Great to have you with us for game 2. Left wing feeds Bryant, 3 to shoot. Backing Cephalosha. Grinding, Tabo knocked it away. Kobe got it back to the corner, won't get a shot off. Shot clock violation. Great defense, Cephalosha, smothering Bryant. Dancing, darting, slicing right Bryant, down the lane, lays it up, he's rejected by Ibaka. The surge protector in offense, denying Kobe at the cup. From Harden behind the back, sheds world peace, dumps inside to Westbrook, lays it up and in, with 1 to shoot. Oh, that was sensational. Lobs it in the corner, too tall for Blake, who tried to save it and throws it away. Harden the steal. Up the middle, Cook, to the rim, the easy layup. This is a run that Kobe Bryant indicated could not become an avalanche in game 2 as it did in game 1. It's a 13-4 push. They have shut the Thunder out 3.5 minutes into the third quarter. The Lakers have imposed their will from the outset. Durant crossing the timeline behind a Perkins pick, rises, fires a 3 straight away. Cha-ching, Thunder money ball. Thank you. Kevin Durant buries it. Drop steps, leans in from behind. Ibaka blocks a 6-footer. That is Serge Ibaka on the night, coming through with his 7th block shot. Durant swivels to the right wing. Now the baseline. Leans in, floats a 5-footer. Got it! Thunder 76, the Lakers 75 with 18.6 seconds left. Do you believe it? Looking, holding. Better world peace corner. Right, Blake, 3 for 3, missed. Cephalosha boards, holds, 1 second left. Up the right side to Red. The Thunder win 77-75. They lead the Lakers 2 victories to none in this Western Conference best-of-7 series, and they do it in most remarkable fashion. The playoffs are all about each game taking on its own life form, and was that ever the case thus far in this series?
Well, as you heard Matt say there at the very end, 2 very different looking games, especially in terms of pace. But I think for the Thunder, all they cared about was the end result was the same, Grant.
Well, in game 1, a terrific brand of exciting basketball the Thunder were able to perform. I think everybody involved really enjoyed it. As we know, every game is different, takes on a different personality. Game 2, a little more grinded out type of effort from the Thunder. But again, as I said earlier, the fact that this team really hung in there and defensively put themselves in a position to win a game, when you think of all the things that happened for the Lakers, it was a typical game for them that they should have won that game. But again, the way the Thunder really stepped up in the fourth quarter and made some plays that gave them the victory, I think shows a lot of maturity on their part.
The 3 stars really shone when the game was in the balance in the final couple of minutes. James Harden, a block on Kobe Bryant, a couple of drives to the bucket for easy layups. It really got the crowd aroused and got this team on the right foot in that rally to close the game 9-0. Kevin Durant, a steal and a dunk, and then that driving go-ahead bucket. And Russell Westbrook had the big deflection off of Kobe's hand to knock it out of bounds. So this team shows tremendous poise. Every game in the playoffs takes on its own life form, and Game 3 and Game 4 in LA will as well from here.
Well, I'm glad you mentioned the crowd because you really have to tip the hat to the energy they had inside and outside of the building. We'll have plenty more on both of these games, breaking them down when we come back. Still ahead on Thunder Insider, Matt and Grant will rejoin me to talk Thunder defense. But first, a breakdown of the playoff brackets when we come back.
I think service in the community means a lot to our organization. The fans do so much for us and supporting us. The least we can do is let them know that we're here and, we care for them. Just because, we play in the NBA doesn't mean we should change as people. We have an opportunity to tell them that we care and show them that we care. I think that means a lot. So I want to continue to just, try to get back and try to be the best person I can be.
Hey Thunder fans, show your team loyalty with the latest Thunder gear from the Thunder Team Shop. Open 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. Monday through Friday and 10 to 4 on Saturdays during the playoffs. You can also shop at NBAThundershop.com. The 2012 playoffs got off to an entertaining start with 2 sets needing 7 and another 2 needing 6 games to advance, setting up 4 great conference semifinal matchups. First, with a quick look at the East, 1 through 8, you see Boston and Philly on top. The Celtics up 2-1 in that series with 1 more game in Philly. And at the bottom, Indiana and Miami tied at 1. The Pacers giving the Heat all they can handle as they split the set down in Miami with Game 3 on the way. Now, on to the West. The Spurs advanced like the Thunder 4-0 against Utah and are now up 1-0 in their series against the Clippers. That leads us to the Thunder and the Lakers. Oklahoma City up 2-0 and now on their way to Los Angeles. It's really been a tale of 2 sides for the Thunder and the Lakers series so far. Game 1 was a 29-point blowout in the Thunder's favor, and Game 2 was a total barn burner that required a 7-point fourth quarter rally by OKC. One the Thunder is glad they turned around.
Just like so many playoff games that I've been in, you can never expect anything. You just have to go out there and play the game until it's over. And, should be proud as a team of the way we finished this game to get a win.
They did a good job controlling the tempo, not letting us run. And it was a difficult physical game. I'm proud of our guys, proud of our team for how we played. And it was a big-time win for us, huge win for us.
Coach called a timeout, just, told us that we can do it. We came out and made plays. James was big into the rim. Russell made a huge play to get us the ball back. And I was able to get a steal and a layup. We just kept fighting. We kept fighting. This team is tough.
I wish it was my magical words, but all I told them in the huddle, guys, we're down 7. You don't have to play perfect basketball, but we better be pretty close. You have to play solid. We have to really get focused on the defensive end, and we got to challenge. One guy has to challenge the shot. 4 guys got to hit and rebound.
It wasn't easy, but that's the strength of our team. We never give up till the final buzzer rings. We believe that we can win, even though we were down pretty big. With a little time left. We never gave up. Looked at each other and said, okay, we can do it.
It's big to get a win anytime in the playoffs. So we'll try to win Game 3 because that's the next game.
Ahead on Thunder Insider.
I always play him the same way. Try to be physical with him. And basically, just to take away all of his touches, regardless if he wants to shoot the ball or pass it.
Jump pass, loaded the rim, up quick for the right hand slam dunk.
Gear up for Thunder Basketball at NBAThundershop.com. Declare your loyalty for Thunder Basketball at NBAThundershop.com.
Nazi Muhammad, you're watching Thunder Insider.
Before opening their series against the Lakers, the Thunder talked a lot about how critical their defense would be in this series. They knew their offense would come to them if they played good defense, and that was from being physical in the post to having active hands around the perimeter. And I think after 15 turnovers in Game 1 and then 7 turnovers alone in that fourth quarter of Game 2, which totally turned the ball game around, they've pretty much executed on that end of the floor.
They've been better from the first game to the second game defensively, which is what we saw them do against Dallas in that opening round sweep. They limited the Lakers to 42% field goal shooting in Game 1, Grant, and sub 40% in Game 2. They're really honing in on what the Lakers try to do and battening it down inside. Serge Ibaka, a big part of that.
Well, I'm looking at Game 2 and round 2 against the Lakers. And this is a team, talking about the Oklahoma City Thunder now, they average well over 100 points in the playoffs. They're leading all playoff teams in scoring. When you get to a point where the Lakers slow the ball game down and you're not even at 60, or you're at 60 points at halftime rather, or the game is way out of hand as far as scoring is concerned, and you buckle down and you play defense. I love the fact that this mature team has not let their offensive inability to get points on the board slow down their defense, and I think that's a big-time maturity statement from this ball club.
Well, like any team, one of the other big keys for the Thunder was try and slow down Kobe Bryant. Well, easier said than done, right, guys? But I'd say Thabo Sefolosha met that challenge as well as any.
Well, Tabo's he's one of the best defenders in the game. He's 6'7", has long arms, he has a defensive mindset. He loves to defend. He makes you take tough shots.
I always play him the same way, try to be physical with him. And basically, just to take away all of his touches, regardless if he wants to shoot the ball or pass it. It doesn't change anything for me.
He has the hardest job of anybody in this league guarding Kobe. Kobe is one of the best that have ever played this game, and he makes tough shots. I've never seen a guy with that type of footwork, and he does it. He's just an incredible player, but Thabo does a good job on him.
Thabo do a great job of keeping his hand on the balls and making Kobe take tough shots.
The whole season and during the playoff, also, I think defense is going to be the key. Regardless of what we do offensively, I think if we can hold the team to under 40%, we're going to be in pretty good shape. My whole career and my whole time in the NBA, I've been looking forward to challenges like this. You play against the best guy in the world, and if that doesn't motivate you, I don't know what will.
High praises for Thabo from his teammates and his coaches, and rightfully so. The job he's done so far on Kobe Bryant, pretty impressive.
His length, his instincts defensively, his footwork have negated Kobe's ability to get clean looks and get into rhythm. Grant, through 2 games in this series, Kobe's taken 43 shots to score his 40 points. It's not only been Thabo, because we've seen James Harden on him, Kevin Durant on him, but Thabo sets the tone.
Well, let's be clear that you're an all-star caliber player. You're never really going to shut them down completely, but you can make it difficult, and I think that's where Thabo comes in handy. You mentioned his length, but he does a great job of staying in front of Kobe, making him see both of his hands. He can test shots. He's been able to stay down on those pump fakes that Kobe Bryant offers. He's been able to do that quite a bit throughout the playoffs. Gets the defensive person to fight on it, and then he gets foul contact, sometimes even makes the shot. But Sefolosha, with his length, he can stay down on those pump fakes and still challenge the shot late and be effective.
Kobe scoreless the final 5:20 of game 2.
Unbelievable. Also vital to the Thunder's success on the defensive end has been the way the Thunder bigs have controlled the Lakers' Twin Towers. Perkins, Serge, very solid. But you also have to point out the job that Nazr Mohammed has done, a guy who saw very little time in the series against Dallas. But when his number was called to step out there and defend Andrew Bynum, he was ready to go.
My job is to stay prepared and always try to stay after with the coaches, get a little extra conditioning, always get shots up and hope that the work you put in can actually translate into something that happens in the games.
I give Naz a lot of credit. He didn't play a lot the last series. I think he only played in the one game, but he stayed ready in case we needed it. The last series wasn't a good matchup for an extra big, but this series it is.
I play better against teams with more of a half-court style, more banging down low. I mean, that's how the league was when I first got into it. It's going more up and down now, but I do feel more comfortable in those settings. But at the same time, they're definitely a load down there, and they're tough to play against.
Give him a lot of credit. He stayed ready, but he always does. He's one of the hardest workers that we have on our team. He's always getting extra conditioning, getting extra shots, and it's always good to see because you never know when you're going to play.
Nazr Mohammed is a big part of the reserve playing defense. When he comes off the bench, he understands his role is to clog up the middle, be very physical with the Lakers, and he understands that role to a high level. I think when you talk about professionalism, Nazr exemplifies that because he stays ready. And there's a big reason that the Oklahoma City Thunder brought him back this year. He has championship experience. He understands what it is from game to game, much like Derek Fisher, who's battle-tested in these playoffs. They understand from game to game that you have to be ready.
Well, it's the playoffs. It's all hands on deck. The guys in Thunder uniforms all recognize that. And Nazr, as you mentioned earlier, Kelly, did not play much, not favorable matchups for him in the Dallas series, but he was itching to get out there. Game 1 really neutralized Bynum in the interior of the Lakers. On the defensive end of the floor, had 4 rebounds and a couple of block shots. And I think that this team rallies around efforts like that. They recognize not just the professionalism of Nazr Mohammed, but the experience he brings to the floor to cut off the interior for the Lakers.
You talk about efforts like that, and that Serge Ibaka right away comes to mind. 7 blocks in game 2. That's something the entire team feeds off, and I think the big men in general, you look at Nick Collison getting in there and causing a few of those turnovers, as well as Kendrick Perkins just doing a tremendous job starting off right now on Andrew Bynum.
What I love from Perkins is he's got physical strength, Grant, but he also has a low center of gravity against Bynum, forces Bynum to get lower to the ground, trying to back down than he'd like, and then he's got to straighten back up to shoot. That's tough to do with Perk staying on him. He's been remarkable one-on-one against Bynum in the post.
Yeah, Bynum's very methodical. He's almost like a robot down there in the low post, and I think that plays right into the hands of Kendrick Perkins, who can be very physical, wants to keep a forearm in his back and make sure that he stays between Bynum and the basket. You mentioned Serge Ibaka with the 7 blocks. Let's face it, that's 14 points that he erases from the total, and I think you talk about defensively, this team is really stout in the painted area. Ibaka's a big part of that.
And if this were baseball, there'd be a lot of souvenirs with Serge's blocks. Early on in those first couple of rows of the crowd, he's been emphatic how he's defended the rim.
A complete team effort, exactly what Scott Brooks would want to see on the defensive end, and that's exactly what it will take in games 3 and 4 when the Thunder head to Los Angeles.
Ahead on Thunder Insider.
Tickets to Thunder games are hard enough to come by. That's why the Reward Zone is here to give opportunities to Thunder fans to get in and see some playoff basketball.
Me and my teammates are real big fans of the people of Oklahoma City. The fans give a lot of support throughout the year. I think it's very important for us to give back to the community and help others. Giving back has helped me grow as a person in a lot of ways. When you have the opportunity to give something back and be able to do it and not expect anything back, and that's a great feeling to have.
You are watching Thunder Insider.
As anticipated, the Chesapeake Arena and Thunder Alley were rocking with Thunder fans decked out and ready to go to get round 2 off to a thunderous start. Joining in on the fun and showing you how you can score some of the hottest tickets in town is the Sports Animals' Mike Steely in this week's Stealing the Mic.
Tickets to Thunder games are hard enough to come by. Regular season games are always sold out, so what do you think about the playoffs? Oh yeah, the place is going to be packed. That's why the Reward Zone is here to give opportunities to Thunder fans to get in and see some playoff basketball.
I'm trying to win tickets.
I'm out here because I love the Thunder. I want to see the Thunder put it to the Lakers.
Because I love the Thunder.
They're Oklahoma's team. That's why I love them.
So what do you think of this reward zone deal then?
I love it. It's awesome. Y'all need to do this every game.
Well, we do, so make sure you're here.
I appreciate it. I'll be here every game.
We have some neighbors who did it last year and won tickets. They told us we should come try it out.
Well, I'm a teacher, so we have to rush home and get ready real fast and get all thundered up. And then we get here, we wait, we partake in the beer garden occasionally, and then we thunder up.
I appreciate it. I think it's great that they do it for the fans. It gives you an opportunity to win tickets.
They don't want anybody to be left out and shows how much they truly care about their fans.
Oh, I think it's awesome, because if you guys didn't have this, I probably would have just have to watch it at home. So, I love it. Now that I'm talking to you, do I get free tickets?
Well, all the kids, they're all pumped to come see the Thunder, so they wanted to see if we could get in on some of the action.
I think this is fun because it's way more exciting to win free tickets than to just go buy your tickets. I'm big into winning the lottery, so it's fun.
How's it feel to be going in to see some playoff hoops?
I'm really excited. I can't wait to see this game.
You're a winner. Tell me, you got to hurl that upside. Okay, Kiara, you just won, right? Tell me about how you're feeling.
Excellent. I'm so excited. I don't know what to do. I'm in a Thunder game.
Tell me about your reward zone experience. It's got to be pretty cool.
Man, it's amazing. Thunder up! Woo! Sorry, a little excited there, buddy.
See you Wednesday. Thunder up, baby. Hey, I'm in a game. I'm in a game.
They draw those tickets 2 hours before every playoff game, so get there early, get your name in, and try and win some tickets for the playoffs. Thanks again for joining us here at our Oklahoman studio for another edition of Thunder Insider, presented by Integris Health. We'll see you again next week with plenty more on Thunder playoff basketball.